Axel Lowe's first change in the patch notes are to his crouching P, where there is a blowback adjustment and stating that they've changed the hit stun state. I'm not entirely sure what that entails. As you can see in the comparison here, the grounded version doesn't really look any different, but it seems like the opponent is launched slightly differently. Maybe it gives a little more frame advantage for Axel to work with. As you can see, the opponent is launched and they spin, whereas before they're launched and they're kind of left back. So maybe that opens up some combo routes. I'd appreciate Axel Lomains explaining that. Next up is 6K. Previously, the opponent was left grounded, but now they are launched into a tumble state, which means you get some mid-screen confirms such as this, and I'll have some examples from Twitter a little later down the line. Now, previously, it was used in corner combos for a wall bounce move, and now it no longer wall bounces, but you get that tumble state, and again, that allows you to combo consistently into Winter Mantis. I think overall that this buff to 6K gives it some much-needed utility in mid-screen, as it didn't really have any before. And with these changes, you can see some combo routings like this, where we're theorizing about what some new confirms off of 2K might look like, right? We're able to use one vision, get these into some Winter Mantis loops, and extend like that, and it's all pretty cool looking, so Axel players do seem to be enjoying the 6K change. After 6K, Axel Low does see another buff, and that is to Snail. Previously, the opponent would be able to tech upon landing with it, and there was a little range of horizontal blowback, but now the opponent has less horizontal blowback range, and it is a hard knockdown, giving Axel Zemi some Oki options and a combo ender for Oki. He does lose out on PRC Overdrive with 50% tension gauge, just like the rest of the cast, which does nerf his defense at 1 tension gauge. Axel Low only has a couple of changes, really, but they're all kind of nice buffs overall. 6K has some mid-screen utility, which opens up his combo routes to give him better confirms off of some of his close-range Abare options in neutral, and possibly even gives him some new corner routes, which would have to be reworked since you can't use 6K as a wall bounce anymore. He does suffer the nerfs from the system mechanic changes to Overdrive, like I mentioned, but also to Red Wild Assault, but I really don't think he was really that egregious of a abuser of it, as generally speaking, you kind of want to play at a mid-range with Axel, run your offense without that, but again, he does lose access to that, so he is a little weaker in that regard, on block at least. But still, new combo routing is always good for Axel. Having a new hard knockdown in Snail might mean that he's able to consistently get some setups and control the opponent a little bit better. And I think the biggest changes that he appreciates are to some of the system mechanics. The fact that he's taking less damage with the risk gauge rework is going to benefit him because he's going to be able to survive matches longer, especially if he has to be blocking for longer periods of time in a bad situation. When he loses the game, he doesn't lose it as fast, and that's important when you're like this zoner style of a character. In addition to that, I think he also appreciates that many other top-tier characters are seeing nerfs in this patch, while he's just seeing a couple of buffs, meaning that while other characters are going down in power levels, he is climbing up just a little bit more. I don't really expect to see him make waves as a new top tier or anything like that, but he certainly should be a little bit more fun for Axel players to play in this patch.